In the Persian Gulf, tensions with Iran have reached a critical point. The Strait of Hormuz, through which 20% of the world's oil passes, has become a flashpoint. The United States ordered the USS Abraham Lincoln into position. But here's what most people don't know. This carrier moved instantly not because of its visible flight deck or aircraft, but because of spaces hidden below the waterline. This is the untold story of the hidden rooms that make rapid deployment possible. Some are so secret that even sailors with top-secret clearance cannot enter without special permission. The immediate trigger was specific. Iranian naval forces increased their presence near shipping lanes. Missiles moved into coastal launch positions. Commercial tankers received threatening communications. Moving a carrier into the region was not about starting a conflict. It was about preventing one through visible strength. Why the Abraham Lincoln? The Navy operates multiple carriers, but not all are ready. Some are in maintenance for months. Others have air wings detached for training. The Abraham Lincoln was different. Its nuclear reactors operated at full capacity. Its air wing had completed certification. Its strike group was fully integrated. Logistics were fully stocked. When the order came, the carrier did not need to rush. It was already prepared because of systems operating continuously below deck. So what happens inside a carrier during weeks when it seems to be doing nothing? The answer lies in compartments that never appear in photographs. The true capability exists entirely out of sight, hidden behind steel doors that seal off whole sections from everyday operations. Deep inside the Abraham Lincoln, behind steel doors requiring special authorization, two A4W nuclear reactors generate the power enabling rapid deployment. These are not ordinary engines. Each reactor heats water to produce steam that turns turbines connected to four massive propeller shafts. The shafts run through watertight tunnels called shaft alleys, where crew members inspect them in extreme temperatures. The electrical output is staggering. It powers every system, from galley kitchens preparing thousands of meals daily to radar arrays scanning hundreds of miles of ocean. But the most critical advantage is energy independence. A conventionally powered ship must stop for fuel. It must coordinate with supply vessels and remain near friendly ports. A nuclear carrier does not. When the order came to move toward the Strait of Hormuz, the Abraham Lincoln simply increased speed. No waiting for fuel barges, no delay while diesel tanks were topped off. The reactors had been running continuously for years and would continue for years more. Access to reactor compartments is among the most restricted in the military. Even personnel with the highest clearances cannot simply walk in. They must be assigned to reactor division and complete months of additional training. For this reason, nuclear propulsion remains the invisible foundation of rapid global response. If you're proud of American innovation like this, write "proud" in the comments. While reactors provide movement, the Combat Information Center, known as the CIC, provides awareness. This space on the gallery deck, between the flight deck and hangar bay, is often confused with the navigation bridge. They are completely different. The bridge steers the ship, the CIC fights it. Inside this windowless compartment, dim lighting allows dozens of radar scopes and computer displays to remain visible. Operations specialists track every aircraft within hundreds of miles. They monitor surface ships and submarines. They receive intelligence feeds from satellites and reconnaissance aircraft. Information is compartmentalized on a need-to-know basis. Personnel working side by side may not know what their colleagues are seeing. The CIC is designed this way intentionally. If one section is compromised, the entire operation does not collapse. During the Persian Gulf deployment, the CIC served a critical function. Iranian missile batteries were tracked continuously. Patrol boat movements were plotted in real time. Commercial shipping was monitored to distinguish normal operations from potential threats. The CIC does not make escalation decisions. It provides information that allows commanders to make informed choices. It is located deep inside the ship, protected by multiple layers of steel, specifically so it can continue operating even if the flight deck is damaged. Without this hidden compartment, the carrier would be blind in dangerous waters. The visible strength of an aircraft carrier is its air wing. The Abraham Lincoln carries approximately 60 to 70 aircraft, including the F-35C Lightning II. This fifth-generation fighter changes the calculation for any adversary. Its low observability means it can operate near defended airspace longer than previous aircraft. Its sensor integration allows it to share information with ships and other aircraft instantly. Its range extends the carrier's influence hundreds of miles beyond its position. However, launching these aircraft requires systems hidden below the flight deck. Steam catapults generate enormous force to accelerate 40,000-pound aircraft from 0 to 165 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds. The control rooms are not on the flight deck. They are located under the hangar bay in the center of the ship, specifically positioned to be protected from incoming fire. Engineers in these spaces monitor pressure levels and adjust launch parameters for different aircraft weights and wind conditions. They work in compartments that never see sunlight, ensuring visible launch operations above can continue without interruption. Similarly, weapons are stored in magazines deep below the waterline. These rooms are temperature-controlled and heavily armored. Access requires passing through multiple security checkpoints. When the Abraham Lincoln moved into the Gulf, its air wing was not just present. It was ready. The aircraft had been maintained. Weapons had been moved to staging areas. The visible presence of F-35C aircraft on the flight deck sends a signal that adversaries understand. At the same time, the invisible work below deck makes that signal believable. Staying in a dangerous region requires more than weapons and aircraft. It requires the ability to absorb damage and continue operating. This is where compartmentalization becomes critical. The hull is divided into hundreds of separate watertight sections. If a torpedo or missile damages one area, surrounding compartments remain sealed. Flooding is contained. The ship stays afloat. Running throughout the ship are passageways and maintenance tunnels that most crew members never use. These networks allow repair teams to reach damaged systems without interfering with flight operations. They house cables and pipes that can be rerouted if primary paths are destroyed. Redundancy is built into every critical system. If one electrical panel fails, power can be routed through another. If one water pump is damaged, others take over. In 2017, a sailor aboard the USS Shiloh vanished into the maintenance labyrinth beneath the engine rooms. For 7 days, search teams combed the vessel while he remained completely invisible. They knew he was somewhere inside. They could not find him. The spaces were so maze-like that trained sailors with maps could not navigate them effectively. When he was finally discovered in an escape passage, he had survived on candy and water from a camelback system. The temperature in those tunnels exceeded 120 degrees. If a sailor can disappear for a week on a smaller vessel, imagine the hidden networks inside a 1,092-foot supercarrier. The crew itself must be sustained during long deployments. Medical spaces include surgical suites capable of handling combat injuries. Dental offices treat routine issues that could become serious. The galley operates around the clock, preparing thousands of meals daily. Desalination plants produce hundreds of thousands of gallons of fresh water. As a result, when the carrier moves into the Strait of Hormuz, it does not need to leave after a few days. It can remain on station for months. At first glance, the USS Abraham Lincoln's swift deployment to the Persian Gulf seemed like a routine decision, but behind that movement were years of preparation and systems that most people never consider. Nuclear reactors operating continuously. Combat information centers tracking threats before they materialized. Air wings maintained and ready. Passageways so complex that a sailor vanished for an entire week. The sailors who maintain these hidden systems work around the clock in spaces most people will never visit.